all these came from a lot of our top professionals in Upwork. But always remember that you are in charge of your business. So all the tips and all the best practices that we're going to share with you today, you can go ahead and get inspiration from them, but at the same time, you can also add a personal touch, of course. Right? So I'll go ahead and do a quick introduction. My name is Anne. I'm one of the Upwork ambassadors in Asia. I was born and raised here in the Philippines. Before doing freelancing, I was a freelancer for quite a long time. And right now, I'm freelancing for more than 10 years in the process and quality. Alright, so our agenda for today, we'll go ahead and go over the benefits of having a great built out profile and what it can bring you. We'll also do profile deep dive, nuances of having a profile that is eligible to be featured. We'll also clearly go over your next steps through your profile, and at the end of our webinar, we'll go ahead and welcome some questions. I'm not sure, well, due to time constraint, I can't answer everything, but I'll go ahead and probably take 4 or 5 questions that have been frequently asked all throughout the webinar. Right? So let's jump right in. What are the benefits of a great profile? So the majority of job posts on Upwork enterprise clients are posted private or as invite. When I say enterprise clients, these are clients that range from fast-growing startups to global Fortune 500 companies, and they tend to have large teams of experienced hiring managers and hundreds of active projects. So your profile is how you present yourself to prospective clients, grab their interest, and then potentially land you a project. Okay? Alright, so your profile also helps Upwork match you with the right jobs because a great profile can boost your visibility in search. So the profile is matched on both the text in the profile description and title, but also the category and attribute tags. So we'll go ahead and discuss more about tags later. But also a good profile is important for recommending jobs and helping talent find them. Now, another benefit of having a great profile is it shows your unique talent. And when you show your unique talent, it helps you stand out from the crowd. And when you stand out from the crowd, then a lot of clients will, a lot of clients will be more interested or what you do. Right? Moving on to profile type, the following. So I just have to reiterate this: is that the following tips are professional tips based on successful independent professionals on Upwork. So it's important for your profile to be cohesive and flow from section to section. Now, let's move to the first part of your profile, the profile picture. So, a lot of us are tend to ignore this part because it's just a picture. But the thing is, a great profile picture can offer you a lot in terms of like getting hired because people make judgments based on first impressions. I hate to say this, but first impressions last. So clients are looking for people that appear trustworthy and dependable, and someone who convey friendliness, professionalism in their profile picture. So I do have 2 examples here, 2 sets of examples. If you notice the left photos are not really great examples of profile pictures because there's a lot of going on in the background and you don't see their entire photo because of either the sunglasses or the dark background. So the other profile pictures, the ones on the right side of first one is the lighting. So when you try to capture your profile picture, make sure that you have a good lighting. Find a location with good natural light, and then avoid direct sunlight. Look for any indirect light or covered areas. Indoor shoots are better for capturing your profile picture.
Also avoid overhead light, which creates harsh shadows. And then for the background, find a simple, clean, and light background similar to the right samples that I'm showing you in the screen. And then focus on your face. Close-up portrait is always important or always encouraged. And then face the camera head on, straight on. And if you want to slightly angle your shoulders, that would also be great, similar to what the picture is showing. And then, of course, offer your friendliest smile, right? Become as friendly as you can. Also, for the equipment of the photo shoot, you can wear a professional outfit or any clothing, and then have someone take the photo for you. Or if you have a tripod, that would be great. But not a selfie. Selfie is not recommended because it doesn't look professional when it comes out. So yeah. And then use a high resolution for greater detail and to allow for cropping. And then take several photos with different poses in multiple locations and for options. The reason why it's being encouraged is because if you have someone with you, you can go ahead and ask for their feedback and see, which ones is the most professional looking photo of you. Or if you don't have anyone, we can recommend a free tool. It's called photokiller.com. It gives you feedback with the photo that you have. Let me go ahead and try to type this in. Okay. All right. So those are some great tips for having a professional portrait. Now let's move on to the engaging titles. So avoid generic descriptions or adjectives in the title, such as hardworking, reliable, friendly, because you can go ahead and touch base on these points in your overview. One thing that's very important is to have a title that's short and focused, right? So just like Google search results, the title and snippets information that appear in Upwork search results can be key factors when potential clients are looking for experts to reach out to. Like a clear and precise title that describes your services or expertise can really work great for you. Okay, so why do you think a great profile copy, especially the title and overview, is important? For one, if you notice the picture on the right side, your title is the first thing clients see because it's on the top and it's in bold. So you have to make it down. All right, and then keep it short and focused because longer titles will usually get cut off in the results, right? And then Upwork search with clients show that they view it as a positive if the profile is well written and the title matches well with what the client is looking for. So this is also an opportunity for you to communicate with them that you're a confident expert who gets things done. Right? Also, a strong title will help you stand out from the crowd. It helps the clients understand what you do, like a simple, succinct summary of your expertise that's very short and focused. And then also be specific with the kind of services that you offer. Say, for example, I'm pretty sure a lot of people here today are customer service experts, right? But customer service expert is very encompassing. It's kind of broad, but you can kind of make it more clear, or you can make it stand out even more if you can be specific, like when you can be a live chat support, or as a customer service expert, you can be a phone support representative. So you can go ahead and choose those specific ones instead of just saying customer service expert. Okay, and then include relevant skills for prospective projects. Also mention goals that the client has included in their goals. So it's kind of like aligning your expertise to what the client is actually looking for. And then aim for a title with less than 10 words. Avoid doing a laundry list because, again, aside from getting cut off in the search results, clients prefer seeing a short title with very detailed information. Okay. Now, after we're done with the title, let's go ahead and discuss how to craft your overview as a pitch to prospective clients. So in your overview, you have to you have to keep it concise. Like say for example, tech buyers. For tech buyers, they like to see skills aligned with projects. So if you're a tech guy, you're more likely to do more bullets in your overview than prose, or what we call written language in ordinary form. Okay, and say for example, your for sales and marketing buyers, they kind of want to see how you position yourself, and for writing buyers, your words will definitely sell you or not. So your overview depends on how or what industry you're in. Okay, now craft your overview as a pitch to prospective clients. It's all about the content. Again, the beginning of your profile displays in search results. It's the first sentence that should include clear, relevant information about primary skill sets and expertise that you have. And then also match overview with overall experience or expertise. Again, this is your profile should be consistent all the way from the title, overview, up until the portfolio and every section of your profile. Also make sure that be original and creative, not overly formal, but just talking facts like expand on who you are, what the services you offer, or what you're most compassionate about. Also be clear on your expertise and mention some specialized software or tools that you've been using in your past jobs. And then let your personality shine through, of course. Include excitement, eagerness in what you write, because clients want to hire people, and usually they would your overview will initially let them know if it's a potential win-win for both parties. So show qualities and praise the work that you do. And for example, my specialties are captivating on-brand website copy that catches and keeps a visitor's attention. So include all the past accomplishment projects that you've worked on in the past. So even if it's off the platform, that's okay. You can go ahead. We have several ways of backing that up. And then next one in your overview, be client centric. Focus on how you can help the client and not just focus on yourself. Like say for example, instead of saying I can do this, I can do that, what you can do is you can say my job is to take your message and visually convey it in a way that entices, engages, and moves your audience to take action. So it's still aligned with what the customer is looking for. Cool? All right, describe the type of clients you usually work with, your ideal client, and their situation. The reason behind this is because it's gonna give your clients an idea if it's gonna be a fit relationship with them or not. So it's important to also add that. And then include testimonial to vouch for your background and show clients that you're experienced and reliable. So one thing to remember is the best salespeople never try to sell themselves, right? Instead, they let others do it for them. So how are you gonna do it? So get some testimonials from past clients or past colleagues that you've worked with, and then go ahead and include it in the overview section. Okay, and then format and organize your information. So structure your overview so that it's easy to quickly scan through and understand what your primary skill sets are, and then keep it concise. If you think you need to enumerate, you can use bullets, right? The bullet points to emphasize specific areas, but again, do not add a laundry list of skills in your overview, especially if they're not related to what the customer or what the client is looking for. Another important thing is arrange the paragraphs in logical order, as well as proofread them for spelling errors, typos, grammatical errors. So you can actually use a tool that's called Grammarly.com. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but it can definitely work with error proofing your work. Don't use slang, all caps, symbols, or text shortcuts. And another important thing to remember is never ever provide your contact information. Like email, phone number, Skype ID because it goes against our terms of service. Okay? All right, so now that we're done with the overview part, this is what I mentioned a while ago, adding scale tags. So the reason why this is important is because adding scale tags can help clients find you more easily. And scale tags you listed match the, if the scale tags that you match or that you listed matches the client's need, they're more likely to hire you because it's a positive signal based on Upwork's research with clients. Now, some best practices, well, for when you're adding skill tags. So first is to choose skill tags that reflect your specific specialization and expertise. So only claim skills that you're comfortable with talking about in one of your profile sections. Again, consistency is key. So you'd rather choose skills that are on top of your expertise level than other skills that you know how to do but you're not confident about it. And then list a maximum of 15 skills, okay, but they all should be relevant. So instead of listing close variant skills like customer support, customer service, customer experience, go for coverage of different skill sets like what I mentioned a while ago. So if you also have multiple work interests, like say for example, you can do translation at the same time writing. So list the number of skills proportionally to how much you prefer each type. So if you want, or if you're more interested getting jobs being a translator, then go ahead and choose that first. And then add a skill suggestion if an important skill is missing from the choices. And then update skill tags regularly because as you go along your freelance journey, you learn a lot of different skills, not just the skills that you already know. So, say for example, after a few months, I came in as a virtual assistant, and then I realized, after learning graphic design, I would want to focus more on graphic design. So you need to update the skill tags, okay, to avoid being outdated. And then note the skill tags that client have listed when you review interesting projects. So this is more of like research when you kind of scan through similar posts. I'm pretty sure you guys are doing that. When you scan through similar posts from clients, there you'll find the similar tags over and over again. So that's one best practice that you can do. So example, client searching for a designer. Okay, they often search for specific type of design like web design, UI design, UX design instead of the tool set like Adobe Photoshop. They don't usually search for that. Okay. Alright, so that's it for the skill tags. Now let's move on to intro video. A lot of us are kind of ignoring this based from experience, but it's as important as all the parts of or all the sections of your video because when you have an introduction video, it differentiates yourself and show your personality, right? It kind of like it helps you build a bond with prospective clients and establish a personal connection instead of like just talking or just them seeing your words. So they can actually see you and hear you. So if you're not a native English speaker, it's also a great way for you to show your communication skills. Like think of it as a television commercial for your freelance business, right? Because you own your business when you're a freelancer. And then demonstrate your eagerness on the platform. It actually shows how eager you are to get to work on any project that you've chosen. So remember that even if you already have a profile video, that doesn't mean that you'll ignore the profile overview and the complete and your entire profile because as I mentioned a while ago, your profile video is as important as every section of your profile. Now, how do you create an intro video? So, one, of course, create a great script. And then when you write a script, you write it, you write something that describes what you can do for the prospective clients. Again, remember, client-centric. So outline what you want to cover in your video. So I'll provide you with some suggestions on how you can break down your intro video, but again, it all depends on you. You can tweak it any way you want. So the first breakdown, the first part of your video can be the introduction, which can run from 5 to 10 seconds. So just tell them who you are, what services you're offering, how long you've been working or doing what you're doing. And then the objective can be the second one. The objective is for about 10 to 20 seconds. You can say what type of roles, projects you're really interested in. And then career highlights, of course, highlight what you've done before, all the milestones. Come up with at least 10 to 20 seconds of showcasing the breadth and depth of your expertise. Okay? And the last part can be your conclusion, which can be from 5 to 10 seconds. Just give them a call to action. Like after reviewing your profile, you can tell them that, I'd love to get on a quick call with you to discuss your project, or even invite them to look at your profile more thoroughly. So just give them something to do after reading your profile. All right, next part of creating your intro video, of course, is getting ready for the photo shoot. And practice your script until you're comfortable with it, and then keep it short. It's easier to memorize. And try to explain your value to them in about 30 seconds or so. Also, in framing the shoot, it's like similar to getting your profile picture taken. So select a clean and quiet background, put the focus on yourself, and find a good lighting. So again, ideally, go shoot indoors instead of somewhere else. And then place camera so you'll be slightly off center. So any photo enthusiasts know the rule of thirds. So you don't have to be in the center of the frame. So you can go a bit like slightly off the frame, and then shoot from the waist and up. Okay. Also be sure that your face and hand gestures are kind of visible when you speak. Okay. And then for the equipment and the video shoot, you can just dress in business casual, use a digital camera. Again, avoid the selfies, that's hard. Well, for one thing, that's hard. And then you can also shoot in high definition or 1080p. Speak easily and clearly. And of course, one thing that's very important is have fun and smile and enunciate. Okay? Now, before you publish it, make sure that you review it, make sure that you're satisfied. You can even ask others to give you feedback about the introduction video that you made. Okay, so moving on to the, I think this portfolio. So why a carefully constructed portfolio is important. There's a lot of reasons, because your portfolio is one of the most important profile components that clients do, because you can write anything in other section, but you have to back it up at some point, right? So Upwork clients research shows that not having a portfolio is a negative for them. And some categories are not as visual as others, but say for example, you're a graphic designer, definitely an important part of your profile is the portfolio to showcase what you've done before, right? And then your portfolio, another important thing about your portfolio, it has huge value across categories. So some benefits are it gives you more profile views, and then that means more high quality job invites, right? And then your confidence is seen as a professional because you're showcasing what you've done before, and that means that you're confident that you've done a great job before. Okay, and then opportunity for you to showcase your skills again, and expertise, that you're an expert in whatever area that you've mentioned in your profile. Okay, one thing that I want to add is, before you add anything in your portfolio, make sure to add or ask for clients permission before posting, right? Okay, now how do you leverage your portfolio creativity for different skills? Because you might see, you know what, I'm a writer or I'm a VA. How can I post pictures of what I've done because they're not my output are not really visually created, right? So you can leverage it via case study. So for one, you can create a short story about someone you help or a challenge you've solved. For example, you're a technical virtual assistant. So of course you don't have pictures of your output, but you can go ahead and cite an example of a previous job that you've handled or a situation wherein you've handled it really professionally. And then you can also add snippets, excerpts of work. They don't have to be fully complete though. Okay. Another thing that you can do is get screenshots. So just make them anonymous. So create screenshots of Google Analytics because that's kind of like there's going to be a privacy issue if you don't anonymize them. Um, a Google Analytics company results and you know how your writing has improved a page performance, or if say for example you're a social media expert, you can go ahead and show social media posts that you've done and the corresponding performance that it yielded. Okay. Also, you can do spreadsheets, research docs, and applications. Okay, that's one option for you. And then results. So create a visual representation of your wins using graphs, charts, and diagrams. So if you're a MailChimp expert, you can go ahead and create a graph that shows like a 25% higher open rate. Okay, and social media post with X number of shares if you're a social media expert. Aside from that, you can also add testimonials from colleagues and clients. Again, definitely, especially when you're starting, you can't provide any testimonials from clients because you haven't worked in the platform yet. So one good thing you can do is ask your past colleagues to put in a word or two for you. Okay, but with testimonials though, you have to ensure that they're visually appealing. So you can design them, like have them send it over to you and then design them so you can post it in your portfolio. Okay, and then create a small number of targeted relevant work samples versus creating a big portfolio. Again, if a client has a website dedicated to reviewing phones, you can go ahead and write a sample, right? Laptop or television review, just to showcase how you'll do it. Like not exactly the direct sample of what they're looking for, but just to showcase your skills in writing. Okay? And then if you don't have a portfolio item from the past to showcase, that's okay. That's definitely okay because you can go ahead and leverage other parts of your profile section. So no worries about that. Okay, so now let's move on to your history. So if you're noticing now, your profile in Upwork is like a level up resume in the real world, right? With the history, it's also important that we leverage it because you need to add relevant details to help clients understand your background, especially when you're starting with freelancing. And then you can include both freelancing work history and employment history, especially when you're starting just yet, okay? And then some information that you might want to include in your history is the company and the reputation, if allowed, only if allowed, because some companies don't allow you to, divulge their names, right? And then what was your role, the description of your milestones, how you impacted the success of the company, and then also focus on the roles or projects that, again, are related to the job. Always remember, consistency is key. Then you can also use bullet points to highlight achievements and examples of accomplished projects for each role. And then list any long-term projects, because the reason why you have to list this is because it shows your loyalty Because if you have a long-term project, it means that you're not only a good you not only have a good relationship with your client, but you're also loyal because you've been working with them for a long time. Okay. Another thing that you can add is your in other experiences you can add your any volunteer jobs that you've done related to the project that the client is looking for, research project, informal education, and competitions. Even your interests, you can add them. It's optional. Now, we also have the certifications and testimonials. So I think this is my favorite part because it really showcases it backs up everything else that you've been seeing in your profile. Let's see, for example, certifications. You can upload certification from third parties outside Upwork or Upwork skill certifications. Now, you can add certifications to your profile, especially if it's outside Upwork, because it's gonna show you, it's gonna show off your skills and qualifications. But with Upwork certifications, we also offer, we offer skill certifications for a specific skill set for now. Right now, we currently have 10 skill certifications in the web and software development, and then I think 16 in design and creative categories. So right now, that's just it. We hope to expand the skill certification to other categories in the future. But at this time, you cannot be you cannot request to be invited. For the best chance for you to get invited to do the certification is to one, have a solid reputation, okay, and then number two, keep a complete and up-to-date profile that's not set to private, and then of course maintain an active Upwork account in good standing. So that's it for certifications. Now let's move on to testimonials. So testimonials, on the other hand, strengthen your profile with client testimonials. It may be on and off the platform. And then ask any client you've worked with, past or present, to endorse your skills with a testimonial. So what you can do here is to ask them to just provide us with the client's LinkedIn URL, and then the testimonials go through a verification process. It may take a few days to get verified, but it's definitely worth it to have it in your profile. Okay, and then, okay, next one is in completing your profile, you also have to set your availability. So keeping your availability updated can help you access more relevant jobs and avoid frustration of dealing with invitations that you're not interested in, or probably you're not available to do it. So updating your availability kind of saves you from any additional stress of having to decline the invitation, right? You get that all the time. So you also may want to take a moment to update your availability when you accept a new work or when a contract ends and you're already available to take on more projects, things like that. Okay, and then include all languages that you're comfortable speaking, and then consider including detailed description of each relevant education. You can go ahead and list the institution name and the program in chronological order. So I think going back to availability, I think you have like more than 30 hours a week, less than 30 hours a week as needed and not available. So if you're too busy with life and work, you can go ahead and choose not available. So you won't get any invitations. Okay, another one is make sure to display your ID verified badge, because creating a work marketplace of trust is what our mission is. So independent professionals verify their identity to put clients at ease, and it's actually a part of our efforts to keep everyone safe in Upwork. So we want to make sure that the users are safe, secure, and fraud-free. So what we do is we periodically ask users to go through identity checks. Independent professionals can earn an identity verified badge to display on their Upwork profiles, which is really good. And to earn that badge, what you can do is eligible independent professionals, you just have to go through two process. So first, provide valid government issued ID, and then you're gonna have a quick video verification call with us. So after that, after we've confirmed your identity, the new badge will show up in your profile, like the one in this picture, the check mark. Okay, now let's move on to the juicy part, setting your profile rate. So I guess this is like, I've always seen this being asked, like, how do you set your profile rate, especially for the newbies? Okay, so one pro tip that we can give you is you should make sure that your costs are covered, but there's a but there. It shouldn't be the driver. It shouldn't be the driving force in setting your rates, because you should set your rates according to the value of the services that you can offer and what the market will bear. So it's better to set your rate based on the market value and then ensure that it more than covered costs versus setting a price by starting with the cost. Okay, so clients view rate as an indicator of experience level. So it's important that it accurately reflects your level, right? So if you charge cheap, then that would kind of make the client think that you're not gonna attract the best clients. Okay, so the main question is, how much should you charge? Ready for the answer? So charge 2 to 5 times what you would get at a traditional job. The reason being is because you don't have the employer to pay for your expenses like health insurance, benefits, and other like internet connection, things like that. So because if you position yourself as too cheap, again, you will not attract the best clients. Remember, I heard this one time that clients think this way: you get what you pay for. So if you charge cheap, then what will the clients think, right? And then another thing is set your rate according to your skills and experience level, and increase your rate with work experience. So again, it's a combination of a lot of stuff. So there is no set rate for each skill set. It depends. It depends on your skill level, all the other stuff. And if you're unsure where to start, you can consider searching Upwork. So this is one of the things that I did when I was starting, because I don't have an idea how much to charge a client. So what I did is I filtered, because I started as a customer service representative. So I filtered all profiles, freelancer profiles that have customer service in their title. And then from there, you definitely, especially with your location, you can also filter by location. So you can get an idea on how to charge it. And then again, it depends. If you think that you deserve more than the average because you have this number of years of experience, then you can go ahead and try, right? And then what else? Also, again, the pro tip is ensure your rate accommodates your additional business costs, but again, it shouldn't be the driving force of your rate. Okay. Now, another thing that I would want to share is, if, say for example, you're a graphic designer and then you're also a writer and you're a customer service representative, right? You're a multi-skilled freelancer. Good for you. You can go ahead and create a specialized profile. So you can, on that specialized profile, you can set a different rate for each service that you provide. Yeah, I'll go ahead and talk more about it later. Okay, now setting your bid rate. So Look for indications from the job post in terms of the client expectations and intent. Again, it's gonna when you look at a job post, it's gonna show you the budget range, the hourly rate range, the expertise level. If it's a beginner, intermediate, or expert, it's gonna show up. So whether the client is and another thing is whether the client is um on a subscription plan. So in here, I'm going to show you what a subscription plan looks like. So we have enterprise client, we have featured jobs, and Upwork Plus client. So technically, all these for the featured jobs, these job posts have been paid for by a motivated client looking to upgrade their job post in order to help the job post stand out in Upwork. And then again for the enterprise, like what I mentioned a while ago, these are companies ranging from startups to Fortune 500 companies that already have a team of managers. Okay. All right. So here's another tip in terms of the budget or bidding rate. The budget is more negotiable than you think. You can always propose a different rate than the client sets in the job. You can go ahead and try, especially if you know that you can offer a lot in the table. Just explain to the client like why am I charging this high? Why is my rate different? Discuss what's included in your service, and then give them a chance to like consider it or reconsider the budget. And who knows, right? You might get the rate that you want. Okay. Now, here's a tip from a very successful independent professional. So making sure your expenses are covered is a great place to start. Again, it's a great place to start, and you should know how your competitions are positioning themselves. But according to Danny Margulis, uh, if you want to increase your profit without working incessantly, you need to think beyond price. If you offer the same thing as everyone else, you can only compete on price. Okay, so to increase your rates, you need to be different and deliver more value than the average independent professional. Again, um, it's okay to bid higher just as long as you explain to the client like I can offer more than what you're looking for. Like I can give you extra services like this and that, anything that could make you stand out and help you or help the client reconsider your bid or your uh, negotiable rate. Okay, so other ideas, there are other things that can help you increase your earnings. Of course, you can adjust your rates specifically in service profile or yeah, service profile that you created since we have specialized profiles. And then raise your rates as you grow. So again, do not settle for the same rate for years. Like adjust your rate as you gain your experience and expand your skill set. Say for example, when I started, I was a VA and I started with a starting rate, which is uh, probably around. I'm not gonna mention any rate, but eventually I realized and after a few years, I asked my boss like, uh, you know what, like I just wanna throw it out there. Like I've been doing this and that for you for years, and I know that I have impacted to the success of your company. So maybe you can give me an increase. So if your client knows your value and sees that you're really a great asset for the company, they would be generous about it. So again, it's up to you. You just have to make sure that you're offering a lot, okay, and then you're impacting the business in a positive way before you ask for a rate increase. And then keep your portfolio updated, showcase why your rate is higher than several months ago, and then of course cross skill. So learn higher paying skills. So leverage current experience and expand into new areas of your work category, and then take a negotiation course. Of course, if you want a bump up in your salary, then you should know how to negotiate it with the clients. Also upsell or offer ongoing related services to clients at the end of the project. So it doesn't mean that, for fixed projects or one-time projects, you can still build, long-term relationship with them by offering other services that you think they need. Okay. All right. So four questions that I want you to ask yourself when bidding. Do you really need to offer a discount? Like, are you avoiding clients that seem extremely price sensitive, or are you at that point in a longer term contract when you can suggest a rate increase? This is what I mentioned a while ago about my experience. So if you think you're offering a lot to the company and you've been with them for quite a long time, then I think it's time to ask for that piece. And then, have you experimented with a higher rate to gauge response? So it's never wrong to try bidding for different rates and see how they respond to it, because from there you'll see a trend on what is acceptable, what is not, and even then, sometimes you'll get approved for a price that you didn't expect, just because a lot of clients are really looking for quality freelancers, you know, with, uh, with a lot of experience. They don't really mind the rate. Okay, other several tips and best practices to help you perfect your profile. Number one is link other professional accounts. Like, say, for example, if you're a designer, you can link your Dribble, Twitter, your Twitter account to your profile. And then if you're a developer, you can link your GitHub, Stack Overflow, and Twitter. Okay, and then next one is proofread. Of course, proofread all the time because it shows how professional you are. And again, you can go to grammarly.com. It's actually an add-on in Chrome, and it's free. So you can have an automatic checker for your profile. And then keep your profile updated based on work experience you collected and projects you completed. If you finish a course or receive a certification, add it to your profile and then remove outdated ones. Okay. Sorry. Next one is responsiveness score and availability. It affects definitely to demonstrate professionalism. You have to be timely in your responses to keep a perfect score. So it's important to update your availability. If you think that you're not really gonna be interested in any other stuff aside from the current work that you do, just put it on not available for the time being. Because at the end of the day, like once your other project ends and you're available to take in more work, you can always update it back to like available. Okay. And then update your profile visibility. Make sure that it's not in private because due to inactivity, because clients are not going to be able to see you in searches, send you invitations, and see full details of your profile if it's in private. Okay. Now, to make your profile visible, you can contact our customer support or upgrade your profile to Independent Professional Plus membership. Okay. Next one is always track your reputation. Like if you've gotten a recent bad feedback. Actually, for top rated and top rated plus status freelancers, you have the benefit to like have a kind of control over your job success score, because you can occasionally request to remove a client feedback. But that's just for top rated and top rated plus. If you want to know more about it, you can go ahead and contact our customer support so they can give you more information about it. Okay, also with your stats, okay, in your my stats section, you can see where you stack up against competition. So you can go ahead and check how many people are viewing and visiting your profile, how often you get hired, and track how you're doing at responding to invitations. So my stats, it's more like monitoring how you're doing so far with your Upwork. Also, don't forget to benchmark your profile with other successful independent professionals that have the same skills from time to time. So again, researching, benchmarking is an integral part of uh, freelancing. Now let's move on to specialized profiles. So I've been mentioning this all throughout the discussion. So what is a specialized profile? So we notice that independent professionals usually have several skill sets that may or may not be aligned. So before they can just have a general profile where they can cram everything in, but we actually now have this specialized profile because it allows independent professionals to express expertise via a set of service specific profiles as opposed to just a singular profile that's all encompassing. So, like what I mentioned a while ago, you can actually create specific profiles or specialized profiles. So, you can do one for software development, you can do one for customer service representative, and you can, what's good about it is you can go ahead and set individually for each, because definitely there's going to be a difference in rates between a software developer and customer service expert, right? But that's just an example. Okay. So to be more specific, the problem we wanted to solve when we started the specialized profiles is many independent professionals have a lot of skills in their sleeves. So instead of having an all-encompassing profile, uh, we offer these specialized profiles that have detailed sections, and they let independent professionals highlight category-specific expertise. Okay, so when you create specialized profiles, you'll be able to customize the title and the overview per type of the work you're marketing. And then in the skill section, remember to only add the most relevant skills for that particular type of work. Okay. Also remember, you can set a different rate for each specialized profile. It's up to you. All right, so more specific ways to market your experience. Independent professionals can now create up to 2 specialized profiles, which are more specific versions of the general profile. So, for example, what was my first example? A mobile development independent professional can create specialized profiles in, say, mobile game development and mobile app development. Okay, while, say, for example, someone who's working in design and creative can create a specialized profile in video editing, 2D animations, or others. So specialized profiles really help independent professionals more effectively highlight the type of work that they do per expertise. Okay. All right, so in here, clients who are searching for design and creative independent professionals see the independent professionals Upwork portfolio, like the one in this example. See that? So this is so design and creative independent professionals can more easily showcase their favorite samples to prospective clients. So on average, independent professionals who've added portfolios are kind of like 5 times more likely to get hired. So if I were you, I'd take this opportunity. If you're in this industry, design and creative, take this opportunity to showcase your favorite projects. Okay. Now let's go to profile review. Now review and analyze and get inspired by other independent professionals' profile in the same category, but again, remember to add your personal flair, because you can get inspiration, but you also need to stand out from the rest, because if it's very similar to them, then how can you catch the client's attention if they're all the same, right? You have to stand out, so add a unique and original flair to your profile. Also ask a few friends to read your profile and give you some feedback. Like if you have kind of like if you have friends around, if you have anyone who can give you honest feedback, to be honest, just ask them, if you read this, are you gonna hire me? Right? So ask for someone else to give you feedback, and then read your profile out loud. This is a great strategy or method to see if the profile flows well, if it has a nice rhythm and it sounds like you and not anything scripted. Okay, now we're gearing towards the end of the webinar. So just a few key takeaways in this webinar would be: one, make your profile about your clients. So again, client centric. So how can you help them, right? Depending on what they're looking for. And then number two, be consistent. Consistency is the key. So you have to highlight your strongest skills in all sections of your profile, in title, skills, overview, work history, intro, video, and all other sections. The third one is establish trust and confidence by completing all sections and not just one or two. And then fourth is leverage all sections of the profile to back up your skills. So again, you have to back it up. Whatever you say in your profile overview, it has to show in all other sections. Fifth one is be concise and straightforward in your language. Again, clients usually check a lot of profiles, so make sure that yours is easy to read and very straightforward. And the last item on the list, this is very important. Proofread and update your profile regularly, because proofreading shows professionalism, and updating your profile regularly makes sure that you get job invitations that match with what you're interested in. Okay. All right. So that's the end of the webinar. But before I let you go, I just wanted to ask you guys for one quick favor, please. We want you to help us improve by answering a 1-minute event feedback survey. This is gonna be helpful not just for me but for everyone in our team. Like, give us your suggestions on what you want to learn next, or give me feedback on how I did with this webinar. So I'll go ahead and answer one question here. That would include, not necessarily a question, but this would include the link to the survey. Just give me just give me 1 minute here. Sorry. Okay, here you go. And then after you're done with feedback, I'll go ahead and answer 3 to 5 questions. I think that's all the time that we have right now. But if you have any follow-up questions, we can continue the conversation. I'll give you another link later, and you can visit that thread. You can go ahead and give us your follow-up questions, and we'll help you by answering them the best that we can. Okay, I'm not sure if okay. I'm pretty sure I sent the. Can you guys see it? Okay. I answered MD Rakib, and it has the feedback survey. So if you can please take that, I would really appreciate it. All right. Just give me a couple of seconds here to get on some of your questions. Okay, so actually we received a lot of common questions. Okay, let's see. Let's pick one. Okay, Mahmoud Hassan asked, "How can I win the project if I am a new person?" That's a very good question. So, if you're a new freelancer in Upwork, you can use your past projects or past work history, place them in your overview, and if you can get testimonials from your past colleagues, bosses, clients, that would be really helpful to boost your profile as a starter. Okay. Um, Next one is okay. Next one is Mazdo Hassan. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to butcher your name, but I'm doing the best that I can. How can I get a job as a new freelancer? It's pretty similar to our first question. Um, how can I get a job as a new freelancer or newly experienced as I haven't any receive or any rating? So yeah, that's actually one thing that you have to um, always remember. If you don't have any experience in the platform, you can pull out all your past job history, employment history. If even if you're just starting, like you're a fresh grad, you can have your you can have certifications, you can have uh, like your educational background included in your profile to speak for yourself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's hard at first, but once you get your breakthrough in any in your job, that's gonna be great. So just have patience. Um, what else? Uh, Title should be only one single word, or do you recommend to have multiple, like software developers, something like that? Oh, Mohammed Nistar, this is good. So you can have a the recommended is like at least 10 make it 10 skills. So that's it, because anything longer than that, it's gonna get cut off in the search results. So it doesn't have to be a single word. So you can at least 10 words, if I may say. Oh, this one. I like your questions. Ayman Shaheen asks, if we want to make two different profiles, then how will it impact? There, it's gonna impact a lot, because when you have two separate profiles or specialized profiles, it's not gonna be all your skills are not one for one. Your skills are not gonna be cramped up in one profile, and then with the specialized profile, all the tags, all the words that you use that are or all the language that you use that are aligned with what a client is looking for gets helps you get found easily by clients, instead of like cramping everything up in the in the profile. And another thing is, here's a scenario. If I'm a client and I'm looking for a software developer, right? And I get an all encompassing profile, like a general profile with um, a lot of services that are not what I'm looking for. So more often than not, I'm gonna jump into the next freelancer who fits my description more, or who fits my needs more, right? So it's more on being specific, client centric. So that's how it helps. Okay, let's do at least two more, because there's a lot. I love it. Hmm. Do specialized, this is a good one. MD Delaware Hossein, do specialized profiles add value, or should I stick with the main profile? You know, if you're offering more than one service, I would say, or if you have more than one expertise that you want to explore both, then I would say create a specialized profile. But say for example, if you're only if the only skill you have is customer service, you do you both do email and chat. I think general profile is okay because they're still within the same category. But it wouldn't hurt if you do specialized profiles because it makes you get found easier. Okay. Let's have the last one. Sorry. I would have wanted to answer more questions, but again, all other questions, I'll go ahead and route you through the another link where you can give us or put out all your follow-up questions. Last one. From Shazunaz, these are commonly asked. How can we get verified account, that blue tick? Usually you'll get a notification once you log in to your profile, and then it's actually an invite only verification. So if you get that, you're required to provide us with a valid government ID, and you also do a quick video verification call with us. After that, it's gonna be in process. It's the same question with Shafiqul Islam. How to apply for verification? Right now, you can't apply because uh, we usually do the initiative to invite for verification badge. So, yeah. All right. Okay. So now let me just go ahead and I see you have a lot of questions, guys. I love it. It means you really listen. Um, so here's what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and share with you guys the link to our community. So in our community, you get to ask any questions you have. We'll go ahead and try to answer it. If not, if we can't, we'll definitely link you to other teams to answer your questions. Go ahead and put it as well. I'll answer another one. Probably do the same type answer. All right, there you go. So that's the link of our community. So you can go ahead and fire up any follow-up questions. Just All right, I think that sums up our webinar today. I hope you've learned a lot of tips and best practices on how to make over your profile. I wish you luck in landing your first subject if you're a beginner, and if you're a top freelancer, good for you. I hope this helps you land your next project with Upwork. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye. Till next time.